Hey, how's it going, everyone? Good morning. I'm gonna show you guys how I repot my some cacti. I bought this Stenosarius chacapalensis from Arid Landscape. It was very cheap. It was under $10. It was and I bought it because it's bigger than my baby seedlings I have. I have quite a few seedlings, but mine are this size, and his are this size. So I think mine will be about this size in maybe about a year or less. But since this was so cheap, I went ahead and bought one just to compare the growth to mine. So I was debating what size pot to put this in, and I'm gonna put this in this half-gallon pot. It's a little big, but I don't think I want to repot it next year, so I want to keep this in here for about a year or two. Okay, so let me talk about my cactus mix. So whatever I use as a cactus, the substrate or my mix, may not work for you because we have different growing conditions. I live in Southern California, here in the Los Angeles County. Maybe you live in Florida where your humidity is crazy and you would need a lot more drainage. So, from my experience here in Southern California, every cactus mix is I'm not gonna say trash. It just doesn't have enough drainage. The one of the best ones you could buy is a Unigrow. They don't have as big particles of like organic matter, like pieces of wood. It's not as bad as like Kellogg's, but I use Kellogg's sometimes just for really big pots. This has some sand in it too, and it has a decent amount of pumice, but it's still not enough. If someone was to make a perfect cactus mix, it would be so heavy because it'd have so much grit and sand and pumice, rocks. It'd have all kinds of stuff in it. So even though this is a pretty good mix without this huge these really big wood pieces in here, and has some really good amendments, some really good ingredients, I still have to add more drainage. And this depends on your cactus too. This would be okay for like a trichosarius that likes a lot of water, but I dilute. I like using scoria and pumice, but today I'm going to use scoria because I actually have quite a lot. I buy them in these big bags, and I have three bags that got rained on, so I have them in these buckets right now. So I want to get rid of the scoria. So this would be kind of like a 50-50 mix, but sometimes I add more because it already has some good drainage, but I'll add, ideally I would want about maybe 70% or 40% organic matter, and the rest be pumice or some kind of rocks. Like here I'm using scoria, which is sold as a lava rock. So that looks pretty good to me. Yeah, that's some pretty good substrate there. So I'm gonna go with this this is about half a gallon. It's maybe a 5-6 inch pot. And look at all these drainage holes. I got a bunch of free pots from some a local collector. He's a landscape, a desert landscape or desert landscaper. So he always has a lot of pots, and he's hooked me up with a lot of pots. So look at all these drainage holes. So you don't want all your substrate to just fall out. You don't want all your substrate to just fall out. So I made another video of me recommending using drywall tape or pumice, like thick pumice. Look at my scooper here. So I get this pumice here, which is really thick, but it has a whole lot of dust. So I always have to sift it, and you'll see the dust coming out. You see it? It's like totally a lot of dust coming out. So I sift it really well, and then I'll put this in the bottom of my pot. Give it a good few shakes, and you'll see this. You won't have your substrate falling out anymore. I don't know if this is enough substrate, but I think it is. I'll have to make a little more. So again, I do my Unigrow cactus mix and some scoria. Mix this up really well. Other mixes don't have sand, and I'll sift the sand also. I have a small sifter, a really fine sifter, and I'll sift out the really small particles of sand just to have it more gritty. And this looks good. So that looks good. Actually, I'll take some out. So here's this beauty right here. A beautifully grown Stenocereus chacopalensis by Arid out in Arizona. So I'm gonna put it right about there. That good? That's good. So I hold the cactus in place where I want it. I have the roots straight down, and then I'll put the rest of the substrate. This looks good. Now you want the roots to kind of the soil to get in between roots. Every time I repot any cactus, I always do this tap method, just so the soil settles, or the substrate settles correctly. I always tap it a lot. And then I'll use the same scoria as top dressing. And top dressing, aside from it looking better, the benefits of top dressing is it helps prevent fungus gnats. But if you do see fungus gnats on here, tap this away again. Tap some more again. And here is my final potted cactus. This is a really huge pot for this cactus. I was going to put it in a small, maybe something like this, but I went with the bigger pot because I don't want to repot it. And this cactus grows really fast, so I might have to repot it next year. So, or I would have had to if I put it in a smaller pot. So I just put it in this bigger pot where it could take off now. It could go crazy. And I was gonna say the top dressing helps prevent fungus gnats, but if you do see them all around during the colder weather, I was gonna look for a bag I have here. I can't find it. I don't know where it's at, but it's called mosquito bits. So I use mosquito bits to kill the fungus gnats. It kills the larvae, but it does not kill the adults. So it's basically pellets that you soak in water, and then you water your plants, and it kills. I was hoping I would find it here. It's somewhere around here. I have a mess here. I have to clean up. But so you soak it in water, and then you water your substrate. You water your plants, and it'll kill all the larvae. And then the adults may lay eggs, but again, it'll kill the larvae. So that'll eliminate your fungus gnat population. Anyways, I always go off in tangents. I'm sorry, but here's my new beautifully potted. What a beautiful seedling this is. Anyways, cheers, guys.